Welcome back, everybody, to Bullhook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got Buttsy with us yet again, Mr. Co-host here. He is dialed and ready to go. But before we get through what we got going on tonight's episode, I just want to say, man, it has been a rough couple of weeks. Has anybody ever gone straight from a cruise to then moving? Because I'm telling you, it's not a good idea.
I don't think I've ever heard that. That's stupid.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You should never do it. I'm in the mood from hell. I mean, out here in Chandler, folks, we're out here in Chandler, Arizona at Stingers Golf Club, recording here live. It's a brand new indoor golf center. They got Golfzon technology, and this place is absolutely awesome. Dylan Votry says, you look so much better than last week, looking healthy and strong. I appreciate that, Dylan. I definitely feel a lot better, but man, it's been the move. Let's get back to the move real quick, because my wife hired these guys to come in and move her stuff. We hired them for 4 hours. Normally, that's a good amount of time, right? Not for our place.
Yeah.
We had way too much shit. And after the 4 hours, they filled an entire truck, one of those huge trucks. Not one of the small, like U-Haul trucks. Like a semi truck. They filled that thing to the brim, and the guy's like, we have no more room. I'm like, I still have stuff. He goes, well, you'll probably have to move that yourself. So sure enough.
Did they get the big stuff at least?
They got a lot of the big stuff, but I'll tell you right now, I've been going back and forth between the old place and the new place for the move started Saturday. Now we're Tuesday, and I still have another day tomorrow to move stuff. So it has not gone well on that front, but
well,
I'm a bit
nice
envious
outside.
of you.
It's nice outside. Actually, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Absolutely horrible outside.
1,000 degrees.
Why it's shameless plug here. Why it's so nice to be here at Stingers Golf Club. It's like 70 degrees in here. I think you can get through a round in a little over an hour. And they have beer, cocktails, really good food. I just sampled the chicken nachos myself, hoping that doesn't come to play with me while we're live here, because I would love to christen this bathroom more than anything else. But, this place.
So, nonetheless, we're here at Stingers Golf Club. Sometimes you got to get away and just enjoy yourself. Once again, Golfzon technology here at Stingers Golf Club. That is one of the top golf simulators in the world, okay? They have the largest golf simulator business in the world, Golfzon. And the technology, Buttsy was on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Yeah, there's no delay. When your golf ball hits the screen, it takes off. Lefty and righty cameras. They both look like robots standing there. It's really cool.
The mats move?
Yeah, mats move to adjust to your lie based on where you're at, fairway, and then you have simulated sand, rough. It's the real deal. You putt, everything. A little LED light comes on in front of you, kind of gives you a line on your putts. Anyways, it's awesome. You guys really need to come check this place out. It's reasonably priced, $50 an hour, and the food is reasonable. They're not gouging for cocktails. That was the old-fashioned.
It's fantastic.
Pretty good.
You just had some nachos, right?
I did, and they're awesome. They have like a bean cheese sauce all over them. So if you don't get a piece with chicken on it, like I kind of dig through some nachos looking for the meatiest, cheesiest piece, and then what gets left over is basically a graveyard. So you don't have that here. Every piece is amazing.
Every piece is amazing. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into it on tonight's episode. We've got the Travelers Championship recap. We got LIV Golf Nashville recap. We got the Swanee style segment, and we've got the upcoming Rocket Mortgage Classic. But before we do begin tonight's episode, we want to give a special thanks to Swanee's. All right, they just had a brand new drop that happened about a week ago. This I actually got from the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So this was right before.
There's even a glizzy man on there.
Yeah, so we got glizzies and we got beers on this polo. They just launched it. Obviously, it doesn't have the waste management stuff on their one that they released, but this shirt is absolute money. I got the shorts on, too. And I'll tell you, after moving, I cannot find my belts. Have no clue where my belts are. So luckily, Swanee's has this awesome waistband to the shorts.
Yeah.
That is it catches your.
Is it the little rubberized?
Yes,
kinda?
It's the rubberized one, so that your polo doesn't go up and down if you have it tucked in.
Yep.
Shorts don't fall down if you're not wearing a belt.
They grab the chones.
They grab, and really appreciate that out of you, Swannies. So, folks, if you want to take advantage of 25% off at Swannies Golf, or swannies.co is the website, utilize promo code PullHookGolf25 at checkout and get 25% off your entire order at swannies.co. Once again, we are here tonight at Stingers Golf Club in Chandler, Arizona. This place is absolutely mint.
It really is cool.
It is awesome. So let's get into the Travelers Championship recap here, Buttsy. First topic. Oh, shit. I almost knocked over my mic.
Be careful.
First topic. I got so excited about the Protestors. The Protestors on the 18th green in regulation. All of a sudden, everybody has marked their ball. Scotty Scheffler's getting ready for his. Akshay Dvattis. And all of a sudden, you see these smoke bombs going everywhere. You see people getting tackled on the greens. It's chaos out there. What was your thoughts?
I think it's like, wow, we've watched this play out about 100 times since videography was invented. They look like every other dumb idiot that has ever tried to do something like this. Yeah.
I say put him in prison for life. Put him in prison for life.
Yeah, throw him away forever.
Forever. We don't need him.
Well, we were talking about it. I guess one drunk fan ran up while the cop was carrying one of them. Fucking knocked one of them out, caught a little quick one there. Go to sleep. So that's what you get when you run out into a public event trying to spray paint. Nobody knows what you're doing.
You can't do
There's
it.
a better way to fight your cause.
100%.
Yeah.
There's so many different avenues. And the girl with the shaved head looked like she came out of a camp that just teaches how to be a protester of whatever it is that you want to, propaganda.
I can tell you what she didn't come out of, an F-250.
She did not.
For sure.
She definitely does not believe
Sorry.
in the red, white, and blue. That is for sure. We've got that going for us when it comes to the Protestors on the 18th. Let us know, what would you have done with the Protestors? I say lock them away for life. Some people said execute them. Some people said that's way too far. So I'm not quite sure. But Buttsy here, I don't know. What would you say their punishment should be?
I don't know. I think life itself is going to treat those people pretty poorly for the rest of their existence. I don't know, keep them away from a golf tournament, maybe pay attention to whether or not they attempt to organize and wear clothing from the 70s and run out onto a golf course. Outside of that, they didn't really cause much harm. They made a scene. They looked stupid, like all those idiots that do that shit do. And you just hope they don't end up defacing a famous painting or something later on.
Oh, God, they're all over the place right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
But Trot Golfer says lob wedge... Laceration. Oh, I like that.
You want to cut him with a wedge?
Yeah, cut him with a wedge. Just put him down there and smoke him with a wedge.
Yeah.
Lob wedge. Very specific there, Truck Golfer. And then we've got Dylan Vodry who says straight to jail. I agree with that, but I want him locked away forever. And then we do have to give a little shout out here to Truck Golfer.
Yes.
Macy May, congratulations, 7.9 pounds. Little lady. Fantastic. Unless
Congrats.
You named your boy Macy May, which, going to make it, it's like a boy named Sue, Johnny Cash.
That's a little boy, though, man.
You all right?
That's it. That's you got me there. So with that said, let's keep it moving, keep it grooving. So we've got the Ben On tweet of the day, which his real name is Byung Hun An. Okay? He tweeted, "That must have been terrifying for Scotty. All the cops on the green." Scottie Scheffler, not a fan of the cops lately.
No, he's a wanted man. He's done a lot of wrong, and I'm sure that he had. And all jokes aside, I'm sure he didn't appreciate it.
No, but it seemed like he was kind of chuckling, and it's funny because he was kind of trying to keep Tom Kim a little bit calm and everything. Akshay Dvattis said he was scared for his life.
As he should be.
The brown praying mantis, as we
Dvattis is
named
scared
him.
of dying from a windy day. So let's.
That's fantastic stuff. So that was the tweet of the day out of Ben On. I felt like that was fantastic work there from a fellow PGA Tour player. And then getting into the actual tournament itself, Scottie Scheffler wins at 22 under par. He is completely on a different level than everybody else on tour.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
It's not even a question in my mind anymore of, oh, what if the LIV guys were there? Would he still win as many golf tournaments? Yeah, he would still win all of these golf tournaments. Maybe you might take one away.
Might even play better.
Yeah, exactly. Because it looks like he's just playing a very mundane round of golf in a lot of ways, and he's just in the lead. He's just winning.
I think it has something to do with his headspace. I really think that he lives in a different world, like the world that he's aware of around him. He, like we've talked about, he doesn't look at the news. He's not on social media. He is the last guy, even though he's the number one guy, he's the last guy that's caught up in any bullshit that's happening, and it shows.
It really does.
It's just oh, well, time to go out and play a little golf.
And here's the thing. As I was playing catch-up, I was really starting to watch each and every one of Scotty Scheffler's shots, and I'm just like, he's not even playing with his A game right now. Who's the last player that you remember who was winning without their A game?
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Good old Eldrick. Gotta love that guy. But we are witnessing greatness right now, folks. And I think that's the point that I'm trying to make here. And I'm trying to make everybody aware that what we're watching now is not normal. This is not like this comes once in a blue moon, like when Tiger Woods in 99. And now we're starting to see the media start to pick up on this, which we've been talking about it for, a couple months now. Since he won a couple in a row.
Yes.
And I'm just like, look at his strokes gained. Like, he's absolutely dominating right now, similar to somebody else. It's tough to do comparisons.
I watched a tweet where 15 starts or something, 6 wins, and some guy put it together. I forget who put it out. It's probably somebody famous, and I'm not saying his name because it didn't resonate. But Scotty's actually like ahead of Tiger in terms of the 1 year performance with stroke average and stuff like that. So, yeah, the real kicker for me, we can't start saying Tiger Woods. I mean, we can for
I think
like
it's
a year
fair right now.
Yeah, you could say it for like a short period of time, but he's got a long way to go to really solidify.
100%. That's the problem with trying to compare somebody at the beginning of their career heading into their prime versus somebody that's already been there, done that. Like, that's why the comparisons for LeBron was not fair for him to be compared to Michael Jordan, right? There's all these different sports to where we compare greatness to greatness. Yeah. And it's like they're all different, but Scottie Scheffler is the first person we have seen since Tiger Woods.
Yeah, to be this dominant. Since Tiger for sure. That I would second that.
I would also go on a limb here and say that he is night and day way more boring than Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, remember when he came out, he was getting criticized for doing fist pumps and yelling and getting excited about making putts, hitting shots. Like, he got a lot of criticism for that. Well, Scotty Scheffler is getting a lot of criticism for doing the exact opposite of not really having emotions.
The exact opposite. Yeah. If any, he's like, Tiger was a dick and didn't give people the time of day and looked like he wanted to murder anybody that, like, he used to charge off tee boxes and didn't talk to anybody and it wouldn't. Yeah, Scotty is the exact. He's nice to everybody.
Yeah. He really is. And it is also interesting that he wins his 6th event of the year, but he has dominated the Signature Series events. He has won, by the way, money-wise, $16,988,000 just from Signature Series events alone this year.
I saw that.
How insane is that?
Yeah, and you know what? If you're going to bring up Tiger's name again, we can go ahead and thank him for that amount of money even being possible in the game today. Combination Tiger and LIV, right?
I think that is completely
fair. How much did
fair.
Purses go up?
Because of Tiger Woods?
And, well, we know it did because of Tiger. That's when they started playing for millions of dollars to begin with. It wasn't like, 93? They're playing for like $145,000 or something shit like that. But
you're not wrong.
LIV doubled purses in certain events this year, right? And last year?
Oh, absolutely.
Signature
I mean, the
event?
entire Signature Series came because of LIV Golf.
Yeah.
That is 100% accurate. Now, we're seeing the same thing, and I don't mean to like bring up other sports on a golf podcast, but we're seeing actually the same thing in the WNBA with Caitlin Clark. And what's funny is all the girls that are a part of the WNBA that were there before, very same treatment to how Tiger Woods was treated when he came out on tour. Which is what? Curtis Strange sat down in an interview and was like, "Oh, you'll learn. You'll learn." And everybody's kind of done the same thing with Caitlin Clark, and it's what we're seeing in the WNBA is what happened with golf. So I'm back to your point about how Tiger Woods moved the needle, and that's why purses got so big, made a real interest into the game of golf. Then the Saudis come in, create LIV Golf, and then the PGA Tour has to react, start pulling some money out and saying, hey, we need some investors, we need some things so that we can actually compete money-wise so that we don't lose all of our talent. But I'm telling you right now, it seems a lot easier to make money on LIV Golf than it does on the PGA Tour with Scotty Scheffler playing like this.
Yep. Nothing else to say about that.
Now, a quick word from our sponsor. Swannies is here with a fresh take. Performance-based materials are a given these days. But if you're looking for the stretchiest and most lightweight pieces that deliver a look that says, I'm here for a good time, take a walk on the Swannies side. With fabric sourced from recycled plastics and designs sourced from our very own weekend warriors, Swannies is looking out for both our planet and those that need a little style to boost their drive another 15 yards. Premium looks from top to bottom at swannies.co. So let's keep it moving, keep it grooving here. Also, one of the things that I do love about Scottie Scheffler, his family, his wife, his new kid, Bennett, is that they're great people. They have basically, did you know they've basically adopted Tom Kim in Dallas?
I have been paying attention, and I had no idea how much. Is there a story there that we don't know?
Yeah, so Tom Kim last year, he didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving because obviously he's from South Korea and so forth. And so a lot of people don't realize it because he speaks really good English, does not come across as your typical South Korean. Oh, my God, you're
it's not like he was like, Scotty, I don't eat turkey.
Yeah, no, he wasn't like that at all. So he needed a place to go. Yeah. The Schefflers took him in, and then they absolutely love him. The parents love him. The wife loves him. Scotty loves him. Like, they play golf all the time. He plays against Scotty all the time. Okay. So some people might say, and this leads us right into our next point, which is Tom Kim finishes the runner-up in a playoff. But some people might say that, Tom Kim, he was comfortable with Scotty Scheffler, doesn't see Scotty Scheffler the same way as others, so he wasn't under pressure on 18. Bullshit. So this one's for you Twitter people, because it's one thing to say, that tweet didn't age well, or that post didn't age well, right?
Yeah.
But when you post something 45 minutes before it occurs, where are the people that are like, that post aged really, really well, actually?
No, we live in a world where nobody is going to appreciate accuracy or the success of a post.
So I think it was on hole 15. I go, Tom Kim is clutch, okay? Then I followed that up with Scotty Scheffler is on another level to all the other golfers. Mm-hmm. What does Tom Kim do? Tom Kim on, I believe it was 17, blows a putt way past, 6-7 feet. If he misses that putt, he's done, right? Drops that putt. That was huge. Then on 18, Scotty Scheffler leaves it a little bit short on the fringe, right, before the protesters and all that bullshit.
Right.
Tom Kim, I go, and I didn't tweet this. This was something just between me, myself, and I. This will go to
you said this to yourself
later. Yeah, I'm like, he's gonna stick this,
and he just hawk-toed the flag.
Hawk-toed. Just like that.
Spit on it.
Awesome stuff. Almost hold it.
Yeah, I saw it. Like, if it didn't spin like it did, I mean, what was it, 4 inches left? Or was it just right?
He tweaked it just a bit.
Juiced up. He said, why don't you hit one right down the flag stick, Tommy? And he did.
And so for Tom Kim, I have been saying this since the Scottish Open, going back, gosh, that's 2 years ago now? Shit, is it 2 years? Fuck, I think it is. Because that was when Tom Kim came onto the scene.
Yeah.
Played the Scottish Open, and he didn't win the Scottish Open, okay? But that Sunday, he showed that if he gets it going, that kid is not afraid to go low.
Bro,
he makes so many putts.
Yeah.
And he's clutch. That's the thing. That's the intangible that I want everybody to understand.
He kind of reminds me of a young Anthony Kim a wee bit.
Tom Kim?
Yes.
He's got charisma like Anthony Kim
Tight
did.
little move. Loves the pressure. Seems to love it. thrives under it. And, he doesn't look nervous at all.
He's not, and he's such a gamer. Remember him in the President's Cup? He was one of the most clutch players in the President's Cup. In his very first President's Cup, this kid is 22 years old. He just started drinking alcohol. Like, this is unbelievable out of Tom Kim, which gets into my next point, which is, man, I was shocked, and I said this at the time, when Joe Scavern left Tom Kim to go to Ludwig Åberg. Okay? Ludwig Åberg, a lot of caddies are going to say to everybody that Ludwig Åberg is a generational talent, hits the ball further than Tom Kim, is better than, has more intangibles than Tom Kim. The intangible that matters to me that Jordan Spieth used to have,
Getting it done,
was moxie and clutchness,
Yeah.
okay? That is an intangible. That's not something that you can put stats on, really.
No, it trumps everything, though.
Everything.
Yeah. When the heat is on and you need to close out a tournament, like you said, he blew it by, he made the putt. He needed to juice a wedge in there, close, and he did.
And come back to me in 10 years, and I'm telling you right now that was a mistake by Joe Scavern to go to Ludwig Åberg. I think Tom Kim is going to have a better career over the next 10 years than Ludwig. I know people are going to be upset with that, but that is my
I
opinion.
usually like disagreeing with you on things like this, but I think you're right. I think that there's a different headspace, and I think he's got that killer. He got that dog in him.
Yeah. So here we go. Now, Cam Young. Let's talk a little bit about Cam Young. Because Cam Young, I thought Cam Young was going to win a PGA Tour event already. I had a bet with Bobby Brown, PGA Tour caddy, when he was on the show, that Cam Young would win his first event before Wyndham Clark. Bobby had Wyndham Clark. Obviously, Bobby won. Wyndham Clark is now a top 5 player in the world.
I'm with you, though. At the time, I would have taken Young.
I mean, he's got talk about, once again, intangibles, right? And that is one of the really cool things about Cam Young is he's got so much fucking talent, but he has not broken through yet. But he shoots a 59 on Saturday, and my question to you, Buttsy, is shooting a 59 still the accomplishment that it is or was back in the day on tour? Remember when David Duval shot the 59, Jim Furyk? I mean,
yeah, it is. It is.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, look, they were playing golf courses that were 700 yards shorter. I mean, they've definitely set golf courses up to where it's just as hard to shoot 59 as it was for those guys. Yeah, 59 is crazy. Are there a lot more good players now that can do it? Maybe that's the bigger argument. There's just more talent now than there's ever been in golf. So you see it more often, but yeah, it's that hard to do.
Yeah, and they made the Travelers more difficult. It was TPC River Highlands. Remember last week? I was so injured. I couldn't even, I'm like TPC Connecticut, TPC Hartford.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was.
TPC
I don't know,
Stanford.
it's a TPC
I have no idea.
course
It's
there
TPC
somewhere.
River Highlands, and they did a little bit of some renovations, and they made it more challenging, okay? I know a lot of people are going to say, but the winner was 22 under. Yeah, they
Again.
could have gone a lot lower than that in previous years if they played the way that they did, and there was lift, clean, and play. So don't get me wrong on that. They're that also is a thing in and of itself.
Is the PGA Tour mad? Maybe you have this in your notes, but is the PGA Tour mad that Bryson has taken the stage that he's had despite their best efforts to, I mean, you can't, like we said, winning solves everything, but are they a little mad at how stardom has kind of found him lately?
I think they got to be, right, because that's taken attention away from the players on the PGA Tour.
Yes.
And that's a tough thing for the PGA Tour to swallow.
Oh,
All right.
shoot.
Leaderboard rundown, okay? Some interesting tied for third. Tom Hoagie and Sungjae Im at -20. Does Tom Hoagie get enough credit for – because he's always around the top.
I bet on
sometimes.
this guy last year every fucking week because of what you just said. He's there.
Yeah.
He's right there. He's got to, and I also succumbed to the same thing with Scott Stallings because he was another one that was
yeah.
right there all the time. And I said,
No bull.
dude, one week one of these guys is going to get it done, and their odds are so crazy, I'm going to hit. Hasn't happened. So, I don't know. How old is Tom Hoagie?
Dude, he's getting up there. He was a member back when Quintero was private. I was in college then.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Craziness, huh?
Yeah.
Small world, too.
All right.
Finishing up with that commentary around the leaderboard rundown, Sung Jae Im. I saw a stat for Sung Jae Im, and I didn't write it down.
Which was?
He has been in the top 25 almost every time he appears in a golf tournament.
Really?
Like, it was ridiculous.
Like he's that consistent?
Yeah, like, I couldn't believe how many. There was like 10, only like 10 tournaments that he wasn't in like the top 25. Over like, I don't know if that was like over the past year or what that was, but man, that was such a ridiculous stat. I tried to find it before the show and couldn't find it.
I mean, from a business perspective, that's where you would ultimately hope to fall as a professional golfer, right? But can you take it deep enough and pull out that big sack and get it done? It's not easy.
It's not easy. So, Sung Jae Im, 20 under also. Patrick Cantlay, T5. That's been a surprise lately. He's playing some good golf all of a sudden.
He's been sniffing
it.
it.
Watch out for Patrick Cantlay in this second half of the year.
Well, we know he can close.
Oh,
We know he can.
he can.
Yeah.
I mean, the hat thing, Joe LaCava, Rory McIlroy. We
He
love
can
that.
close late.
Yeah.
He'll take a long time doing it, but
We've got Tony Finau. That's your boy lately. You
love,
love Tony Finau right now.
Love Tony Finau.
Then we've got Xander Schauffele. Did you see his comments about how he's forced to go do Bob Does Sports and these others?
What do you mean forced? I didn't see that.
Forced by his team because they understand how important it is
to go do
to
all
get
this
onto the
fake
pit.
bullshit
Yeah,
golf.
so Xander actually kind of he said it in a way to where I really felt like he was saying, I don't like this shit.
Well, it makes
but I have to
sense,
do it.
man. I mean, that's it. Look, somehow these guys have created themselves as an avenue that reaches the most people, and how that's happened because it's not something that I thoroughly enjoy watching myself. But yeah, that's kind of wild that you should be working on playing professional golf. You shouldn't be worried about going to play with Bob Does Sports because now there's this other stat where your media presence has to be up. Like
Isn't that nuts?
crazy.
That's crazy.
dude. And I've talked to Mr. Perez about this at length. Playing with the Barstool guys and feeling like you have to go do these things because you're not cool and. Yeah.
Hate to see it.
It's one thing if you choose to. It's another thing if you feel like you have to because that's the biggest outlet over there, and there's almost a point system if you don't.
I felt like Xander's comments were very telling. If you read between the lines as to what he said,
I got to see this because I didn't see it.
He basically was saying, like, I don't like doing this shit, but my team makes me do it. And he goes, and his.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, no, he didn't. That I'm reading between the lines
What
when
did
I
he
say that.
exactly? Do you
So
remember?
He said, we have to do these things with guys like Bob Does Sports, with Barstool, because there's this thing called PIP.
A lot of money in PIP.
Now, he didn't say, well, I'm reading between the lines, and I'm going, wow, Xander really doesn't like doing that shit.
No.
He's really faking it.
Not much to read when they say we have to do these
Yes,
things.
and my team, it makes me do them.
A little different if somebody comes out and says, and I love doing the stuff off the course, playing with a bunch of the YouTube guys. I mean, they're awesome, and what they do for the game is great. When you say we have to do these things or else we're at the bottom of that world, that, dude, like, what are you doing?
I'm with you 110% on that. So we've got Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau, Justin Thomas, Akshay Bhatia, all finished T5 at -18 at the Travelers. We've got T9, Brian Harman, Wyndham Clark, which that's actually a good finish for Wyndham Clark. He's been struggling of late.
What did Harman shoot?
So 17 under with Wyndham, Cameron Young, and Shane Lowry. And then T13, we got Xander Schauffele and Colin Morikawa. Colin Morikawa continues to play well as long as he gets the putter going, which, once again, the putter is hit or miss with Colin Morikawa.
And I feel like Brian Harman's like the second coming of Lee Westwood. Like, he's kind of like I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying by that? He kind of occupies that space when Lee was hot.
Oh,
I don't know. He's kind of that guy. He's like a left-handed Lee Westwood.
that's a really, really good point. And then, by the way, the signature events now are completed. We're not even through half the year yet. Actually, are we through half? We're through half the year. This is through half the year, right?
About dead on.
I agree. So we've got through half the year. All the signature events are done. And I was actually watching, pardon my take, which part of my interruption. I forget which one it is. It's the one with Wilbon on ESPN and the old white guy. I forget his name. Wilbon lives out here, by the way. Wilbon is a member up at Desert Mountain.
Wilbon.
Yeah, Mike Wilbon.
Who's that?
You don't know who Mike Wilbon is?
No.
Famous guy out of ESPN. Famous broadcaster, sports broadcaster.
Well, that's why I don't know. Yeah.
So there you go. With that said, they were talking about how has the PGA Tour really sold itself out in the first half of the year. Now there's nothing for the PGA Tour. Once you get beyond the Open Championship, what do you have?
Oh, yeah, we discussed
you have the
this.
FedEx Cup.
Yeah, you did all these build-up events that also coincided with other majors. And like we said, like, is that sponsor-driven? You know, the timing of that, it's tough to say. But yeah.
Kornheiser, track golfers, always helping me out.
Come here.
Good old Tony Kornheiser.
Tony Kornheiser. Tony Kornheiser.
And by the way, so the whole entire point that they were making, and I happen to agree with it, is that they don't want to go up against the NFL. NFL's coming up in a month and a half?
Yeah.
It starts?
Yeah.
Or maybe even less. I see it from ESPN all the time. There's like 72 days left until the NFL starts. PGA Tour doesn't want to go up against that.
I mean, why?
I don't blame them. But then you've got LIV Golf that goes on these hiatuses, and they still have a bunch of events left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The NFL's on, Sunday and Monday?
I thought about this a lot because I'm like, hang on a second.
Can
You
I
got
play
the
golf?
signature series
Fuck
events.
the NFL.
It's very front heavy with these signature events. The FedEx Cup, I think they want to continue making the FedEx Cup a bigger and bigger deal.
Yeah.
And they don't want these signature series events to take away from what the FedEx Cup is going to be. So that's where I disagree with Wilbon and Kornheiser around, no, we still have the FedEx Cup. We still got a lot of stuff coming up with golf. And then we got silly season, which is fall series,
Yeah.
which is fun.
It's fine.
It is what it is. Fantastic. All right, let's get into, and I'm changing this up from previous weeks. We're throwing in LIV Golf Nashville because of how big it was, okay? So this is our next segment here on the Pull Hook Golf Podcast, and it was a big success for LIV Golf. Called it last week in my
Perfect venue for them.
drunken, exhausted stupor.
No, you did call it, though.
I did call it. I said Nashville's going to be wild because think about it. You've got drunkenness. You've got loud music. And they brought in some country artists, too. So they had Dan and Shay that was there.
On site at the tournament?
Loved Dan and Shay. They did a concert at LIV Golf. So did Luke Combs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
It's pretty, and then the nightlife thereafter.
Yeah.
Everybody going to the event, going downtown Nashville. I mean, I was there.
I wish I would have gone. You were there.
You saw. I was there.
Not really.
I was there for a few hours. A lot of people don't know that, but
Yeah, he flew on a private jet there. Pat Perez set it up for him.
we had a day.
Went, and then he came all the way back to Arizona.
We're not
so,
really talking about it. It wasn't something I was
Well,
supposed to show off.
I'm
but
so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Pat Perez hooked you up.
He did.
I
These
love
guys
that.
a lot.
Love that. Okay, so obviously LIV Golf Nashville. I don't know. For me, it was so obvious that LIV Golf Nashville was going to be their biggest event in America. It just made every piece. God damn.
There he is again.
You know, you get a couple of these whiskeys in.
We're going to get you some cysteine, some liver stuff. I mean, that's just backgammon right there.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling absolutely great. Let's keep it moving.
Keep it rolling. Hey, keep it positive.
New sponsors for LIV Golf, by the way. So all of our LIV Golf fans, which Corpay is the most recent sponsor for LIV Golf. Yeah, so that's nice. That's nice for them.
Company I work for. Yeah, we just got rid of Corpay, but that doesn't mean anything.
Here we go. So Greg Norman tried to tend the flag for Bryson DeChambeau on a par 3.
Well, he's in contention.
While he's in contention, and I get it. It's the party hole, right?
You know what would have been just so good if Greg just gets knocked out standing there.
Bryson, which, by the way, all of a sudden, old Bryson started coming in. If you watch it closely and you look at his body expressions, right? Like what
Where
he was
he started
actually
getting kind of bitch mode
He was
going.
getting into bitch mode, kind of rope gate, right? And he's like, "What is he doing? He's like, "What is he?"
This is ridiculous.
And he's like waving him off. And Greg stands there and is waving him on as he's holding the flag stick.
Yeah.
Okay? Like a jackass. He's like waving him on. He's like, no, hit. And then Bryson's still waving him off. And finally, Greg walks back to the crowd, like slowly.
Yeah.
And Bryson, like, all of a sudden realizes, oh, the cameras are on me. So he starts laughing and, like, doing the thing that he needs to do.
He should have just hit 3-wood at him.
Holy, just sniped one.
Greg, what are you doing? Yeah, I might be with you on this. As a LIV fan.
But you know I love, like, I'm a LIV lover.
No, I am too. Whoa, can you say that again?
I'm a LIV lover.
You have been
But that's where everybody thinks I'm anti-LIV. No, I'm critical.
No, but you've never come out and said, I am a LIV lover. And I think that closet door just opened tonight. Okay?
Yeah, it's like coming out of the closet when you're a LIV fan. I'm a LIV fan. I like LIV golf.
I am too.
Here's my biggest issue with Greg doing this is that he just played into everything the PGA Tour trolls talk about, just like
Correct.
anti-LIV, to where it's like, oh, this league isn't serious. It's an exhibition league. He just played into that entire thing because it's everything that LIV Golf has fought for, that it's like, we're a serious golf league. We are... Like, these players are so competitive. It doesn't matter that they're getting paid no matter what. There's these big purses. I've been one from the beginning of LIV Golf that said, that used to fight with Bobby on here and go, do you think MLB players, even though they're paid a boatload of money, don't care about winning? Yeah, there's the few.
No.
There's the Manny Machados of the world.
I mean...
But there are the Derek Jeters that no matter how much you're getting paid, all you want to do is win. And I will tell you from working in Major League Baseball and doing VR for some of the teams, that some of the hardest working guys were the ones getting the most amount of money.
I'm gonna say this, and I think the people that garner the most money tend to be the biggest and the best winners. Isn't that the whole reason that they captured that kind of money? Is because they're the best at what they do?
It is.
They didn't get there because it was handed to them.
Well, there's also something that is a real thing, and when you're in a contract year, you tend to play the best.
Yeah.
I mean, that's real across sports for the most part.
I'm not shocked.
Oh, here's a good question. Dick Trickle says, who is the Derek Jeter of the PGA? And I think actually the better question for you, Dick Trickle, is who is the Derek Jeter of LIV Golf?
Oh, boy.
Because they're the ones that are making the big money, right? They're the ones that don't have to actually work at their game if they don't want to. They've already made a boatload of guaranteed money. I don't think this works with the PGA side of it.
Derek Jeter.
I think Derek Jeter of LIV Golf is going to be...
You got to be so dominant, but you also have to be extremely well-liked and good with the fans. Who occupies that? I'm not going to say Brooks.
No, that's who I was going with.
I wanted to say that too, but he's not taking interviews. I mean, it's pretty obvious he probably doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He doesn't give a except for competing, which that was Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was a media guy when he was playing. Derek Jeter was all about just winning.
Yeah.
So I'm going with...
I mean, I'm going to say
Brooks
Tiger
on
the PGA Tour.
Oh, Tiger for sure was that guy.
Tiger's Derek Jeter.
So there's a few guys in sports, and I think this is actually a cool topic.
It is.
That wasn't a part of our notes, but I will say that if you talk about the most competitive players in sports across different leagues, we've got, and by the way, feel free to chime in on this.
Oh, I will.
We've got Michael Jordan, probably the most competitive player we've ever seen across all of sports, which is why I love him to no end. That's why we wear his sneakers.
Anthony Edwards.
You have some great Jordans on, by the way.
These are the spikes.
I saw you post multiple Jordans for the podcast.
We had a thing. We went out and spent some cash.
I'm going to tell you right now, your competitiveness is starting to, all of a sudden I'm like, oh.
Well, I figured the worst case is we both end up with a cool collection, you know?
Wait till you come into the new studio.
Okay.
We've got some stuff going on there right now.
We're going to have to get into the custom era pretty soon where we buy this, but we put golf bottom. My brother just did that. Not cheap.
No.
You're about $600 for a pair of kicks. Yeah.
You can get up to $1,000 with those
Oh,
customs. Yeah.
For real swaps.
Yeah. So Michael Jordan, basketball.
Okay.
Derek Jeter, baseball. Okay. Then if we go to, let's say, football.
Why do we say Derek Jeter though? Like, what about A-Rod? Like, what about other guys?
A-Rod.
Yeah. You think Derek
Are you
Jeter was
are you high? You can't go
Statistically.
A-Rod.
statistically?
No. Derek Jeter was the competitor. He was Mr. Clutch. You can go back to Reggie Jackson and say Mr. October
Yeah.
because he was clutch when it mattered.
Nobody had the arm that Bo Jackson had. Sorry. Just going to say
Oh, Bo Jackson. What a devastating. By the way, folks,
that. Little aside
if
here.
you don't know who Bo Jackson is, you probably shouldn't listen to this podcast.
There's a Japanese player that's become famous for his right field arm. And the guy's probably 170 pounds. Bo Jackson was an avatar standing out there. And you watch throws, and they're trying to say that. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it, but if you watch a Bo Jackson toss from right field to home plate or to third base to gun people down, I think it's like the fastest clocked baseball that was never clocked. And he's throwing it like 112 miles an hour. Anyways, a behemoth. You ever watch him break a bat?
First of all, do you know what took out Bo Jackson?
No.
So he had a dislocated hip, and it cut off the blood circulation, so his hip joint died.
That's what did it?
It is now something that is commonly fixed. That killed his career.
Could have been maybe the best ever.
He was.
Yeah.
He was the best athlete we have ever seen in the history of sports.
Just size, speed.
Unbelievable.
All combined. Yeah.
Okay, so
The Pete Rose.
we have some good stuff going on here. So I'm a diehard Yankees fan, if you can't tell with the Derek Jeter reference.
I realize I struck a nerve there.
Well, no. But A-Rod was a Yankee. Here's the thing, though, and I don't care that A-Rod did steroids. Okay, he was part of the whole thing. Like
Jeter might have too. You know.
Jeter never. Look at Jeter.
You never know.
His head didn't grow, and he doesn't have muscles like everybody
He
else.
could have just been taking a little Winstrol
No.
just for recovery.
Listen, HGH is what you would take in that moment. So there's that. Now, we've got Anti-Liv remembers the Chuck Knobloch days at second base for the Yankees when he couldn't throw the ball to first base. He was such a good hitter, though, that they kept him in. They just kept working with him working with him and working with him. And it was so mental. Oh, Dave Winfield. And by the way, who's the most competitive owner ever in sports? George Steinbrenner.
Agree.
You have to go on and watch on Peacock. They did a documentary on the 90s Yankees.
Tell the people what it's called.
I don't know what it's called.
So it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock. If you look up Yankees on Peacock, it's about the Yankees during that time. And by the way, Dick Trickle throws in Dave Winfield was better, drafted in 3 sports. So there was an entire thing about Dave Winfield and how George Steinbrenner hated him because he didn't perform to his contract level, and how he duped George Steinbrenner in his contract. And George Steinbrenner never forgave him for that.
I'm going to watch this tonight.
Oh, it's so good.
I got Peacock.
And Steinbrenner hired this sketchy drug guy
Was it that dude that worked
dig
for Donald Trump?
to dig up dirt on Dave Winfield, his own player, so that he could trash him in the media. Unbelievable stuff.
Can I just stop you for a second, though, and say that the baseball aside there,
Yeah.
America's sport, us hopping in there for a second, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
who else would you say? So if we got to football, you got Tom Brady, right?
terrible if I don't know anything about football.
Well, you got Tom Brady, man in the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever want to watch something that is going to motivate you from a sports standpoint,
The Last Dance.
I got my wife into The Last Dance. She's not a sports person.
Oh.
She now loves Michael Jordan.
Of course.
Loves
How could
Michael
you not
Jordan.
after that?
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, shoe sales went up something crazy when they dropped that. It was like 44%. Jordan sales went up.
So very much along the same lines, you watch Tom Brady, man in the arena on ESPN Plus. You realize how big of a competitor. And by the way, that's the people that I appreciate. So that
Needle
is,
movers.
That is to me like a Brooks Koepka. Bryson, man, I'm going to tell you right now, with this entire thing around LIV Golf Nashville, And I'm not done with Greg Norman by any means. We're going to get back to it. But this was a huge missed opportunity by Bryson not to win this week.
I mean, look, that's a tall order, though.
Yeah, but
You still got to go out and beat everybody. Like, you're not playing against slouches. You know, what did he? How far back was he from winning?
he lost by quite a bit. Terrell Hatton won by 6 over second place, and Bryson,
That guy can
Bryson
game
finished third.
Terrell Hatton's like 5'2".
So
He
that
looks like Keebler needs to give Terrell Hatton a sponsorship stat. He needs to live in a fucking tree for a couple days and shoot some content, baking cookies. Can you even imagine how good that would be if he
just
came
have him
running out
screaming,
"Hey,
"Fuck!
here we go, we've got
Fuck!"
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck! I burnt the cookies.
Oh, just run into the door of the tree just to deliver. My God,
Jesus, that would be great.
good stuff.
Absolutely great.
Good stuff.
Terrell Hatton. So, yeah, Bryson missed an opportunity. And here's the thing. The reason why this was a tall order, like you said, and why it's such a big missed opportunity is now we go on a hiatus again. We don't have LIV Golf until the middle of July.
Yeah, so you fall out of the limelight and the news cycle, which is now down to like 30 seconds for most people.
3 days.
Okay.
I think I said 5 days when I was up last week, but it's 3 days.
3-day news cycle.
Yeah, it's a 3-day news cycle, and you have to stay relevant. What is Bryson going to do right now?
Maybe
Go record some content on YouTube?
I mean, yeah, he could take his shirt off and go hit some balls into a net and scream about the ball speed. That might help.
I've seen those. I've seen
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Those are real. Those are real videos. Get with his long drive buddies.
I mean, you're going to capture a certain audience. There's other guys that are like,
At some point, we're going to do a segment on this show
damn,
about
I'm
the long
hard.
drive
What did I
guys
just watch?
because those guys are they're a different breed.
Bro, I have done so many segments on the long drive guys.
I know, but we're yeah. I'm telling you right now because we used to have them come into the golf simulator every like PGA show. We were always worried about the screen ripping back in the day.
Oh, from them hitting it through.
Oh, and they just would hit it so hard.
Well, and
We're
the
like,
personalities and
Oh,
the
they're-
obvious fact that these guys are on copious amounts of testosterone and everything else. They remind me of golf's version. If golf had WWF guys, like that's who the long drive tour is.
Yep.
Dude sleeping for 2 weeks. How many people touch that trophy in a week? I mean, he might be sleeping from catching some sort of a disease from the trophy at this point. You're right. A
you
lot
think-
of people touched it.
A lot of people have been talking about this. Even like Anti-Liv, I believe, said something about this. But the haters of LIV Golf are like, Bryson doesn't give a shit about LIV Golf. He doesn't want to talk about it. Watch him do his interviews after the U.S. Open. He's not even going to mention LIV Golf.
That's false. Yeah.
Do you think he cares, though?
Did you see what the interview that he said about how his game was gone and he didn't feel like you said, he wasn't winning on LIV, and his teammates
I
on
did see
LIV
that.
were the ones that brought him back. Now, again, is that a PR guy? Because obviously somebody's doing something right with Bryson, and for that to be the follow-up to kind of cover all bases, hey, LIV's happy. PGA Tour hates me, but everybody that follows PGA is pretty much back on my side. We're winning right now.
I actually agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, he did. And now to come out and say, you know, my team on LIV is the only thing that brought me out of the darkness of hell and made me find my game again, and I owe it to them for catching a W at the U.S. Open.
Do you think that's real, though?
No. Absolutely not.
I almost fell over. Wait, what is up with this stool? I feel like gravity's against me right now.
It looks like a good stool.
It's a good stool. It's solid, very steady.
No, it's not real.
No, I'm fucked.
Not to anybody with a brain. No offense to Bryson. Not to anybody with a
Do
brain.
you think Bryson, when his team brought that to him and was like, hey, read this when you're up there, and this is really going to hit, do you think he sat there and was like, wow, this is really good? Or do you think he sat there and was like, how in the f*** am I going to pull this off?
He probably had somebody film it with their iPhone like 3 or 4 times, and then finally the dude was like, okay, that's good. That's just like that.
Or do you think it was like more like American Psycho, to where he just looked in the mirror and repeated it to himself?
could have done that. Probably shirtless, covered in oil.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryson's an anomaly, man. I don't. Yeah, like, yeah.
Well, you know him.
We have talked a few times.
You've got
over
his
the
number.
past-
You FaceTimed him. I've seen it.
I do have his phone number, and I try not to abuse it. I send him pictures. Like, I sent him a video last week of me clipping my toenails.
Didn't like it.
That's the kind of stuff I send Bryson.
Yeah, it's not good.
Just like, look at that. See how these things grab the ground? That's how you create real power, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this one to you.
Anyway, can you eat before you play?
No. I can't
Same.
eat during either.
No, like
It
it maybe
interrupts
is
my-
something, but like then you get like, oh, you might have a bowel movement, and yeah, I just need to get through the round.
I've had this conversation with multiple PGA Tour caddies to where, like, whether or not players want to have food, and normally, like, certain guys like certain things during the round that the caddies actually have to prepare, like bananas and peanut butter. It's like, what? Hang on a second. And then Bobby was telling me that, like, some of his guys that he's caddied for, because he caddied for a lot of guys after Dustin Johnson, that they don't want anything during the round. I'm the guy that, like, I don't want anything during the round. But do you know how much weight these guys lose during a week playing on the PGA Tour?
I mean, it's half a NASCAR, 4, 5, 8 pounds. Yeah.
15.
I got a question.
James
for you.
Hahn lost 15 pounds last year.
Yes,
So,
has
big win for Terrell Hatton, wins by 6. He's been in form, by the way, pretty much for the past couple of months. This is actually somebody who didn't really buy into, hey, I've got a bunch of money, which it kind of makes sense. He's a
No.
Keebler elf.
Dude,
So,
he's a cookie baker.
yeah, he doesn't give a shit how much money he has. He's just going out there and baking cookies and
Bakes cookies in the summer.
knocking it in the hole.
Come December, he's up at the North Pole making toys. It's pretty solid. He's
Yeah.
got a nice little year. And then, in his downtime, plays golf.
But we're going to get into the Swanee style segment. But before we do, big win for Legion 13, which is John Rahm's team. They are still an enigma at this point. Well, actually, not the team, but John Rahm is an enigma because he hasn't figured out how to turn his talents into wins on LIV Golf. His LIV Golf career has not gone that great so far. He makes a lot of top tens, but there's only
From what I've
fucking
seen,
54
Matty,
players.
I think, we said, oh, it's a mistake and blah, blah, blah. From what I've seen the last couple weeks, especially the footage of him getting mad about the drone, right?
Oh, that was this week?
But that's a tell-all for me.
Yeah.
If you're mad about the drone, then you care what you're doing.
Yeah.
You care what's
Well,
happening.
Or you're just getting annoyed.
Or you're just annoyed and that's an outlet. But to me, it seems like this guy definitely takes the LIV Tour seriously.
But Legion 13 wins their third event in their inaugural season, which is fantastic for them. And that leads us right into the Swanee style segment. Do you believe John Rahm should work with getting a shoe deal for golf spikes designed specifically for people with a cleft foot?
Well, that's a loaded
Have you ever
question.
seen a cleft foot?
I think he has had multiple shoe deals at this point.
Yeah, but not for a cleft foot.
Well, not openly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But he has definitely had custom spikes for that little Garthak that he's got down there. So in terms of whether or not that should be a publicly like a public thing that other people with that feet.
I mean, don't you think that should be a thing?
I don't know how many people are like, hey, man, they walk into a golf shop. You got the ROM? And then they go, pew, and they throw that foot out, and they're like, I'm looking for the ROM. I need something because I got this little gangle horn right here.
Let me get you with my strong toe,
Yeah,
child.
dude, watch out.
It's fine.
Talk shit, I'll cut the laces right off this thing with my pinky toe.
Cleft foot.
So, I don't know.
They say on the Google, that it is a rare thing to have a cleft foot. So
I think you should
maybe
just cut
that's
his foot
why.
off.
Just amputate it.
Amputate it, and now, like, you have a whole different genre to play to. You could get one of those carbon fiber foots, and you don't even have to deal with this thing getting infected anymore.
Jesus, this guy's hitting bombs.
Just absolutely
I mean,
slaughtering the golf ball.
hitting some major draws.
Boy,
Wow.
we get weird when we have a couple cocktails on here, don't we?
I absolutely love it. I hope you guys do too.
John Rahm's future carbon fiber foot.
Love that for him. Love that for him. Maybe he'll play better on LIV. Second Swanee style segment question is, what's the most important article of golf clothing that you wear during a golf round?
Second most important article of
the
clothing.
first, the most important.
Your shirt.
I agree. I thought you were going to go with underwear since you're a big,
No, the first thing people see, the statement is the shirt. Everything else is an accessory.
What about for performance?
The shirt.
Shirt.
I'm shirt, dude. Like, if this is not comfortable, it doesn't move with me, and I feel like it's sticking to me all day, I'm going to be miserable.
Do you think players are making a mistake with some of the tighter fitting shirts? You look at Tiger when he was in his era, very loose. You look at Scotty Scheffler, he's got a pretty loose shirt.
It depends. If you grew up
this
that
guy's
way,
hitting missiles.
I know, he's scaring me at this point. I don't know. It depends on how you're built. I mean, if you're a fat dude and you feel forced to wear a form-fitting shirt because you think that looks cool, you're going to have a bad day every day. You're not going to be comfortable out there. For a guy that's built like a horse jockey, like most of these dudes, tight-fitting shirt's probably just fine.
I feel like a missile's going off behind me. This guy might be one of the long drive guys. He's carrying it. Oh, that one was shanked. Yeah. That goes back to the Chuck Knobloch comment there. All right, so folks, now we've got the upcoming Rocket Mortgage Classic because and this is one of the things that we can't talk about LIV Golf now because once again, hiatus. Not until the middle of July. Right. Let's get into the upcoming Rocket Mortgage Classic because your guy, your buddy, your caddy buddy, previous winner, caddies for Ricky Fowler. And Ricky Fowler, if you remember, this was his big moment to where he looked up in the sky, finally made a putt, finally won a golf tournament again in a playoff over Colin Morikawa and Adam Hadwin.
Put your money on Big Dick Rick.
With that said, the Rocket Mortgage Classic is his sponsor. So he's sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. Is he still sponsored by Rocket? I think he is, right?
I don't know.
Folks, he was when he won it, and he's done a lot of commercials for them and everything. But this is a great tournament that brings it back to really the Motor City. Detroit Golf Club is the club. And this is a great golf club, by the way. They play the North Course over there. So this is a Donald Ross design, which, remember when we talked about a little Donald Ross with Pinehurst number 2?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this with guys. It's really a great golf course. It was built in 1899. It's a par 72 at 7,370 yards. Strategy on this golf course, you want to prioritize some accurate tee shots. You want to avoid, there's a lot of strategically placed bunkers and water out there, Buttsy. And then you got some approach shots that you really got to aim for the center of the greens because guess what? Donald Ross really with you if you miss the center of the green.
If you miss, you're going to have a bad time.
Real bad time. And then the greens, diabolical. Not as bad as Pete Dye. So, big difference. Pete Dye, you can't read greens for Pete Dye, okay? Donald Ross, he actually allows you to read them, but they're challenging.
Well, they don't have the green books anymore, right? They got rid of that years ago.
A couple years ago.
Remember those?
Oh, absolutely.
I was privy to see one at the Houston Open.
Oh my God! I mean, you could basically wherever you hit it, you knew exactly how it broke.
All right, slightly left. It basically told you exactly what it was doing.
It took away a lot of the talent.
Hey, let's wonder. No.
Absolutely not.
Rocket Mortgage confirmed the news that the mortgage giant and Fowler have renewed their longtime sponsorship agreement after it was paused recently for a few months in May 16, 2024. Probably because he was playing like shit, but he is trending the right way. He was the first round leader last week. I sent you a DM of that.
Damn, you really wanted me to post. Which, by the way, folks, it was a little bit too...
If you're looking for a guy for the last few events here to throw that cash on, don't throw a lot on him, but his odds are going to be great in your favor.
Cantlay.
No, Fowler. God damn it, man. God damn it.
Patrick Cantlay.
Not Cantlay.
Go
His
Cantlay.
odds aren't that great.
No, but he will play slow and he will do good things
Jake
for
Knapp's
everybody.
a great wild card.
Okay. Field analysis.
Field analysis.
Okay. So after two signature series events and the U.S. Open over the past 3 weeks, I'm trying to just read off the screen right now. This is unbelievable. A lot of big names are taking a break this week. Okay.
Who's taking a break?
Fucking Patrick Cantlay.
Patrick.
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham.
Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty.
Not Akshay Bhatia.
Not the praying mantis.
Not Ricky Fowler.
No.
No, we got some notable.
Akshay's a good pick.
We got some notables. Okay, so we got Tommy Kim. I'm almost positive, by the way, that this is when.
Thorb Bjornsson.
No, this is when 2 years ago, Tom Kim at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Do you know this story? Why we call him Little Dicky Tom Kim?
No.
Okay. So this all started. I didn't start the Little Dicky Tom Kim. This was actually Bobby Brown who started Little Dicky Tom Kim. So they're in the locker room in the Detroit Golf Club. Okay?
Little pee-pee.
Tom Kim has an open shower area
Yeah.
to where he can shower with the boys.
Mm.
He goes to the attendant, and Bobby just happened to be like changing clothes in there. And sure enough, Tom goes up to the attendant and goes, "Hey, do you have any private showers?" So from then on, Bobby was a big proponent that he really felt like Tom Kim had something to hide.
Oh, yeah.
So we started calling him Little Dicky Tom Kim, which doesn't take away, by the way, my feelings towards Tom Kim.
No.
I absolutely love the guy.
Peeing on his balls. That's all right.
Maybe he's got huge balls.
Peeing on him.
Clutchness happens. Okay. So with that said, we got Tom Kim, Cam Young, Akshay Bhatia, Minwoo Lee. And by the way, we did have a comment early on from Durango 155 on YouTube says, "Does Minwoo Lee win the Rocket Mortgage this week?"
And you like that?
No, I'm going to let you answer this.
No.
No, me neither.
No, I don't think he does. I think he's a great player, but yeah, he's not there right now.
Here's the thing with Minwoo Lee. Minwoo Lee is great, okay? Minwoo Lee.
Next year will be his year.
I'm going to tell you guys what. Tom Kim's going to win this week.
Ooh.
And
You think he's going to come off of
I'm not even
all
going
that?
I'm not even going into the picks because Tom Kim, if I'm not mistaken, either played really well here 2 years ago.
Okay.
I actually didn't look up the results for last year, outside of obviously Ricky Fowler, Colin Morikawa, and Adam Hadwin. But this is a golf course that you don't have to be super long, and you've got the clutchness of Tom Kim. So my money is on Tom Kim. Who's your money on?
Fowler, Finau,
Jesus, you're going back to Fowler
JJ
again.
Spawn, Knapp. Those are my top four.
I don't mind some of those. I'm going Tom Kim,
JJ's going to resurge.
Cam Young, Akshay Bhatia. Those are my top 20s.
JJ will be in the top 5.
Wow. I do think this is a golf course, by the way, that if you don't play it right, year in and year out, it is not given that the same guys are going to perform well year in and year out at this golf course. And that's because it is a Donald Ross design. And if you know anything about Donald Ross golf courses, which I do in the Northeast, they're diabolical sometimes. And you really got to position yourself in the right places. And if you're not playing really well, you're probably not going to play well there. All right. Okay. We're moving on. Folks.
It's been great, guys.
Guys, it's been absolutely great. We got to go. We're getting kicked out again.
We got to fucking go.
Yeah.
But come check out Stingers. I
Fuck,
know
great
this
place.
will not be the last time that I'm here. Actually, I might come here tomorrow. I was going to go
This
hit,
place is awesome.
Well, I was going to go hit balls tomorrow. And
Why not come here and get your numbers?
That's what I'm saying. Get your numbers, hit balls where it's air conditioned, work on the game. Fuck going outside. I'm going to hit off mats anyways. There's nowhere with grass right now. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can listen to the podcast episode of this on every podcast platform
Yes.
that is out there.
Yes.
So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora,
Very good.
TuneIn Radio. If you ask your Alexa to play it, it'll play it.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. But we just want to say thank you to everybody, and
Absolutely.
thank you to our
Good
sponsors.
app tonight.
Swanee's Golf, the Birdie Juice hat, the polo, part of their new. We got glizzies on here. We got beers. Great stuff.
The whole 9.
Go to swanees.co. Utilize promo code PoloHookGolf25 at checkout. Get 25% off your entire order at swanees.co. And until next time, folks, see you, everybody.